Listen to this. Freedom of expression includes the freedom to hold, share, and explore opinions and ideas. Okay? This includes the right for individuals to express their views through public protest and demonstration, and so this right is closely related to the right to peaceful assembly. But it doesn't mean you have to fuck up everybody's fucking family weekend that they've worked hard and saved up for, and the kids are looking forward to going to a fucking snooker tournament or a fucking racehorse, horse racing. When you get these deck-ups, spoil it for everyone else. It doesn't fucking say you have the right to fucking spoil every working man's fucking holiday. Hello, everybody. I'm wearing my Alf Garnett vest today. And for those of you that do not know who Alf Garnett was, he was an old character on TV that used to have an opinion. I think it was in the 70s, 60s or 70s, about all sorts of things in life. And very similar to the way I think sometimes. Now, implants. Fucking hell, driving me mad. I actually produce more water in my implants than that bloody water bottle over there. Now, anyway, it's Sunday today, and you're probably sitting down with your roast dinners, and well, no, you're probably just waking up after watching the coronation and everything. And I must admit, it wasn't too bad. Some of the songs went on a bit too long, but anyway, that's the way it is. But the reason I'm posting a video this morning is simply some things that have happened over the weekend or last week that I saw is I have a question for you. Is freedom of speech the same as a demonstration? Is freedom of speech really just for the individual? And is a demonstration completely different? Now, I'll tell you why. These people that demonstrate, they really fucking piss me off. They really do. And it's the same as some people when they go on strike. Is it the same thing as freedom of speech? Let's put it this way. Last week, I was watching the snooker world championships on TV when some dickhead decided to climb on the table and pour orange powder all over the table halfway through a match. I think it was in the name of animal rights. And the tournament on that day got cancelled. Now, if I was a spectator in that audience watching snooker and I paid for my ticket and it was the only time that I could get to watch a match, I would be fucking fuming. I would like that man that sat on the table spraying orange powder to come fucking near me so I could kick him straight in the bollocks and fucking tell him how I feel. Why do these people always have to target innocent people like us? And I know it's for publicity, but fucking hell. They spoil everyone's fucking entertainment. Another thing, yesterday at the coronation, human rights and MPs were complaining that the police arrested some of the demonstrators saying that the king is not ours or whatever. Okay, if they want to demonstrate, then fucking do it some other time. But are they fucking stupid enough? I think there was 100 or 200 of them. But yet there was fucking thousands on the Mall watching the fucking parade. The police wouldn't stand a chance if these fucking thousands decided to turn on this 200 and kick shit out of them. And then they complained that they were arrested, but yet they was wearing handcuffs. And the police warned them about things like that because they were going to use the handcuffs to chain themselves to gates and doors or whatever they want, or the fucking stagecoach that the king was travelling in. What? Why do they do this? So, is it freedom of speech? Or is it a collective freedom of speech? Or is it just a pain in the fucking arse freedom of speech? To me, there are times and places for freedom of speech. And these demonstrations, you know, they really need to pick far better times. It's like going on strike, isn't it? The railways. Let's put it in perspective. Fucking shut up, Cockerell. The railway workers went on strike. When do they go on strike? Over Easter, over periods, over Christmas, over times when people are going on holiday. And yet every time I've been in a railway station in England, they're all sitting on their fucking asses and doing nothing. You can't tell me that railway workers are fucking hard pressed. And do they deserve a fucking pay rise? Maybe if they haven't had one in a few years, maybe, yeah. But the only group that I would like to see to get a pay rise is the national health workers or private nurses or anyone in the medical profession should be entitled to a pay rise, because what happened with COVID was on. MPs just line their fucking pockets by giving contracts out to their relatives for making masks and fucking uniforms, whilst the poor nurses were exposed to the COVID and were dying and were getting sick and taking it home to their families. Not only that, I've been in logistics all my life, and who in their right mind gives a fucking contract to build ships to a company that has never built a ship in its fucking life, not even a paper one? That MP that gave that contract to that fucking company should have been fucking hung, drawn and fucking quartered. He should have been tied between those two coaches yesterday and fucking pulled apart. No one in their right mind, because these MPs during the COVID line their fucking pockets with millions, and the poor nurses got fuck all. Anyway, going back to my question of freedom of speech and demonstrations, I remember a time when troops came back from Afghanistan and they arrived at their home base. It was like a sort of local regimental army, and they marched through the streets of the town with all all their families and friends and supporters were cheering them back from Afghanistan. And who were there? A fucking bunch of Muslims. And I'm not knocking Muslims, I'm not knocking any fucking religion or groups or anything, but there was demonstrations by Muslims shouting out to these poor fucking young troops coming back from Afghanistan, calling them murderers, and the police done fuck all about it. I would have loved to see them troops break ranks and fucking kick shit out of them, because there should be a time and a place for demonstrations. And I'll give you a big one a few years ago. When the dead bodies came back from, I think it was Iraq and Afghanistan, they used to land at Brize Norton. And they used to travel through a little village called Walton Bassett. It was a tradition. When the coffins were being put on the hearse and they was driving through Walton Bassett, friends and family, the villagers of Walton Bassett, the regimental flags were there of those that died and friends. It was a sort of a welcome and a farewell, thank you for those dead guys. And then this fucking Muslim in charge of some Muslim group which is not recognised by other Muslim groups, headed by that guy called Chowdhury. I think he's in prison now. He arranged for a fucking demonstration down Walton Bassett at the time when these coffins were going to come through. And it carried on for a few weeks, and in the end, he postponed the demonstration. But I told the reason why he postponed the demonstration. His reasoning was that everyone should have the opportunity to say praise to those women and children and men that got killed in Iraq and Afghanistan. I agree with that. Everyone that dies in any war should, be respected and grieved. But the time and place, the reason he cancelled that demonstration because word got around. And I was on some groups, Facebook groups and everything else, where ex-forces, including myself and other people, were going to go down to Walton Bassett at the same time that this demonstration was going to take place, and we was going to kick shit out of them. Because that Walton Bassett was one of the most respectful places when the dead came back, and we did not want a group of these people messing it up. And that is the only reason why he cancelled it, because fucking word got around and he shit himself. He fucking knew that he had upset 99.9% of the British public, and the British public were going to go down to Walton Bassett, whether by a car, bike, walk, fucking train, plane, whatever. They would have gone down Walton Bassett and they would have attacked these fucking Muslim group, who thankfully is not recognised by other good Muslim groups. So my question is again, freedom of speech, is it the same as a demonstration? Is it a collective freedom of speech? Should there be a time and a place for these type of things? It's a very difficult question. You know, if this leader of the anti-royalty that wants to elect a country leader wants to stand up or go on television, you know, on his own at Speaker's Corner or something in London, and that's their freedom of speech. Yes, that's freedom of speech. But a lot of these people that were in the crowd with placards saying royalty is not for us, etc., etc., half of them didn't even look like they've come from this fucking country. Half of them, one guy at the back of the commentator looked as if he was fucking Korean or something. And I'm sure some of these just go down for the fucking fun of it, but yet they could have had their head kicked in. Because there are a lot of people in England and other countries, even America, a lot of Americans came over to watch the coronation. How do you think they will feel if some dickhead stood up in front of them saying, "We don't like the king"? He's liable to get fucking his head blown off. If it was America, they probably would fucking blow his head off. But in England, they're a bit more polite. They said, "Excuse me, I've come here to watch the coronation, not listen to you." But they just picked the wrong fucking timings. Same as this dickhead. And another one. This is a good one. This will fucking blow your mind. The group that are for animal welfare, they demonstrated at the Grand National. Now, the Grand National, for those that don't know it, is a race once a year. I think there's about 30 horses, and it's over big high fences, and they are fucking high. And a lot of these horses, you know, fall down or, you know, get injured or whatever, because but it's one of them races every year that even when I was a kid, my dad used to put on a fucking bet for me, even if it was just 50 pence each way. Everyone in the family used to bet on the Grand National. But yet this year, you had these fucking knobs for the animal welfare. They caused such a fucking stink, climbing fences and laying down in front of the fences, and that the race was delayed. And it affected those fucking horses. Believe it or not, horses do have a mind. They have a mind of their own sometimes, they just fuck off. But anyway, the race was delayed and it upset the horses, and more horses fell at that first fence, and one even had to be put down at the first fence because of these fucking animal rights people. So the animal rights didn't fucking do anything. It just brings more hatred towards these fucking people. If they want to fucking break into a kennel and cease fucking overcrowded kennels with dogs and cats and whatever, fine. But why do you have to fucking spoil people's entertainment? That racehorse has been, that horse race has been going on for years and years and years and years. It's one time of a year that the family all have a bet and watch the fucking Grand National. Yeah, these fucking dickheads spoiled it for everyone. Sorry, that is my water pump going to fill my washing machine up. I'll just put some white t-shirts in. It will end in a minute. I've just had it installed. It's MCWD water, not well water, and I've got to put a cover over it. Anyway, stop now. So, you know, why do these people always have to involve the public? The public that have fucking worked all their life, saved up money to go and watch these tournaments and go to the races and everything else, and then fucking people spoil it. You know, they don't have a fucking brain, these demonstrations. But again, like I said, what is freedom of speech and demonstrations? Is a strike a form of a demonstration? Yeah, I think it is. But what has more effect? An individual standing up speaking, or a demonstration? But the demonstration just, you know, it just upsets people and makes people against these people. I'm all for animal rights. I'm all for showing respect to people that die, regardless what side they're on in any war. Everyone, you know, families are families. And, you know, but there's a time and place. Time and a place for these sort of things, guys. Anyway, that's my rant. You can watch it. If you don't watch it. And lastly, have you ever seen these idiots that sit in the fucking road, or like on the M25, sit in the road for their against the environment or for the environment, and they sit in the middle of the road in a line and they stop all the traffic, and in the end drivers have to get out and drag them away, and then they get back in on the road again. Can you imagine if one of your family members were seriously ill or cut themselves, bleeding profusely, and you wanted to get them to hospital and you was fucking held up by some of these fucking idiots demonstrating in the road? What would you do? What could you do? Could you run the fucker over? Could you squash his fucking head under a wheel? Then you'll get done for fucking murder or manslaughter or whatever. You know, these people just will not fucking learn. They always upset the working class people. And when they get injured, or if I got out of my car and there was a woman sitting in front of my bumper and I fucking grabbed her hair and dragged her across the road, and a handful of her fucking hair came out in my hand, she'd fucking report me saying that I fucking was violent to her or abused her or grievous bodily harm against her. But yet I've got a fucking right as well to go on my way. I'm using the road. I pay taxes. Well, not now because I'm in the Philippines. But I pay taxes. I paid road tax and I'm entitled to use the fucking road, not have some fucking flat-chested fucking lesbian fucking demonstrator stuck a fucking arse into my front bumper. And nothing against lesbians. I'm all for LGBT, as you know. But it's true. If they get injured, they cry wolf to the police. Oh, he manhandled me. Well, you fucking shouldn't have been in front of the car then, you fucking dickhead. See? You can't fucking win with these people. You know. But is it freedom of speech? Is it a demonstration? Who has more power? I don't know. And the police let it go until you get something like the coronation, where they're ordered to do, a few nights before this order came out, arrest these people. But yet groups can demonstrate on sensitive things and the police do absolutely fucking nothing. But on another hand, if it was a British group demonstrating against another group, then the police would do something. So, you you know, in England you can't win. But anyway, in the Philippines, I just lead a nice, happy life, and I just rant every day and just put my ideas out to you lot. So, if you like it, good. If you don't, well, fucking tough. Bye. Please like and subscribe.